Hello and welcome to the world's greatest memory techniques, day 5. My name is Adam Aziz, and in this video we're going to learn how to memorize text, memorize formulas, and memorize information with acrostics and acronyms. First, we're going to get into acronyms and acrostics. An acronym is where we take the first letter of each word and form it into its own word, like NASA. It stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. An acrostic, on the other hand, is where we take the first letter of each word and form it into a phrase. For north, east, south, and west, we can use the acrostic never eat soggy waffles. For the order operations in mathematics, use the acronym PEMDAS. It stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Or you can use the acrostic, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please stands for parentheses, excuse for exponents, my for multiplication, dear for division, aunt for addition, and Sally for subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. For the 5 Great Lakes, we have the acronym HOMES. It stands for Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. To remember the planets in order, use the acrostic, my very educated mother just served us nachos. My very stands for Mercury and Venus. Educated mother stands for Earth and Mars. Just served us nachos stands for Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. As a review, an acronym is where we take the first letter of each word and form it into its own word, like NASA. And an acrostic is where we take the first letter of each word and form it into a phrase, like never eat soggy waffles. Now we're on to formulas. First, seek to understand it, then use spaced repetition where you test yourself over a set period of intervals. Teach it, apply it in problems, and break it down into smaller parts where you chunk it down. You can also turn the formula into a catchy tune or rhyme for the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You can use the rhyme a squared, b squared, c squared is the key to find the hypotenuse in geometry. You can also find the rhythm for the quadratic formula. Use x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And when you lock it in, you can have it for years or decades to come, God willing. You can also imagine the formula as a story. For the volume of a box, which is length times width times height, you can visualize a long loaf of bread for the length, a wide block of cheese for the width, and a tall milk carton for the height. You can place all of them inside of a box. So as a review, seek to understand the formula, use spaced repetition, teach it, apply it in problems, break it down into smaller parts, find the rhyme, find the rhythm, and imagine the formula as a story. Now we're on to memorizing text. There's some general tips similar to memorizing a formula. First, we want to break it down into smaller parts, seek to understand it, visualize the text as we read it, use spaced repetition, find the rhythm, and use a mnemonic strategy. These are the last 5 lines of the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Our goal on this first read-through is going to be to understand and visualize each of the lines. Let's begin. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Imagine someone taking a big sigh of relief. Somewhere ages and ages hence, at the end of their life, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and 2 roads diverged in a forest. I took the one less traveled by. They took the one with all the growth on it. And that has made all the difference. And we can see them at the end of the road with the victorious pose. So after we understand and visualize each line, our goal is to use a mnemonic strategy. This strategy was used by Robert Downey Jr. to be off book, have his lines memorized before anyone else. And it's simple. We just write out the first letter of each word. So this is what it looks like. Line 1 is, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Say we forget what line 2 represents. We go back to the original script. Somewhere ages and ages hence. Then we go to line 3. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and So we forget what line 4 is. We go back to the original script. I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. So you go between this list of letters and the original script. And once you have this list of letters memorized, you go off book, don't look at anything, and do your best to recall the list of letters and the original script. But if you need to look, it's okay to look. So as a review, first we want to break down the script into smaller parts, understand and visualize the lines, use spaced repetition, find the rhythm, and use the mnemonic strategy where we write down the first letter of each word. I hope you enjoyed this day. I hope you enjoyed these strategies. Until the next video, God willing. Thank you. That is the end of day 5. Well done.